It is clear in Scripture that the Jews are God's chosen people. We see this throughout the Old Testament. God calls the Jews his treasured possession and that they are holy to him. And in the New Testament, we see that the Jews are still God's chosen people. But what about the Gentiles? Where do the Gentiles fit in God's plan? Does God work with the Gentiles in the Old Testament or only the New? Well, from the very beginning, God made a promise to Abraham that all families on earth will be blessed through his name. This demonstrates the universal nature of God's blessings and purpose, that it's not limited to one single group. Rather, it encompasses all those who choose to follow the God of Abraham. Let's look at some examples of Gentiles in the Old Testament who chose to follow God, and so God worked with them and gave them a significant role in his plan. Our first example is Rahab, a Canaanite woman who through immense bravery and faith saved her family, the Israelite spies, and helped bring about the destruction of Jericho. And because of her commitment to God, God saved her and her family. And God placed Rahab in the Israelite community, and so she no longer became an outsider, but rather she became a part of the chosen people of God. Following this, we have Cyrus, a Persian king who was chosen by God to further God's plan. God commanded Cyrus to issue a decree that allowed the Jews who were in captivity to return to Jerusalem and rebuild their temple. This pivotal act by Cyrus shows his faith and obedience to God, and so God worked with him to further his divine plan. It is evident through these examples God works with many Gentiles in the Old Testament, and that these individuals continue to be positive examples of faith to Jewish leaders and to Christians, and that God has integrated these individuals into his plan and purpose. And so, to tie this together, Isaiah presents a profound vision where Gentiles will bind themselves with the Lord, and that they will join the Jews in worshiping God. This displays the exciting future where Gentile and Jew will come together in God's kingdom.